Hello people, I'm doing this tier list ranking of Mario Kart World, put together by Shy Guy Timmy on X. Gross. I am working on a longer video right now, but it's taking longer than I expected because of course it is. So I'm doing this, which will hopefully take much shorter. And also I wanted an excuse to talk about Mario Kart because I keep trying to talk about Mario Kart and then those projects don't come to light. So yeah, I'm just going to be doing this. I played all the tracks today except for Special Cup, but I played those last night, so I think I'm pretty up to date on each of them, where I am on them, I guess. I wasn't entirely sure how I was going to rank each of these at first, because, you know, there's like different versions depending on the intermission you go to, or... Fuck. I don't know, I hope that didn't pick up. It probably did. But yeah, there's like, sometimes you play them in reverse, sometimes some tracks like Crown City are just fucking ginormous and have parts that you don't play in versus mode. So like, what do I do about them? I've decided that if I think the extra sections are substantial enough, then I'm going to talk about them a little and they'll go into my ranking. But if, I don't know, I'm not going to mention every time you're able to go backwards on a track from specific intermissions. Like, you go backwards on Mario Bros. Circuit a lot, but like, whatever, who cares? But something like Daisy Palace in Shy Guy Bazaar, I'm going to be mentioning that. If I miss anything, whoop-de-doo, I guess. So starting with Mario Bros. Circuit, it is going in B tier, I think. I don't know, it's fine. I think of the starter courses in the series, it's one of the better ones for sure. Probably not as good as Mario Kart Stadium, but I think the vibes carry it a lot. Like, Mario Kart Stadium is a lot more grand. This one's like the local dirt track. I don't know. Very rustic, I guess. There's a lot of rail grinding opportunities. There's a useless little tunnel that you can wall right on, and it's just slower, but whatever. A lot of people don't like the big canyon. Like, it's too long and large. It is pretty big. I don't know. I don't know. It's fine. I don't really care. And then the ending shortcut with like the ramp off to the side and the glider. I pretty much never go the normal route. I didn't even go it like the first time I was on the track. I think it's pretty good. But yeah, I'm probably not going to be using F tier. Yeah, I think it's a solid B tier. Definitely not like the best Nitro from the game, but it's okay. And there's Crown City. I'm kind of torn between A and B right now. It's like it's not a bad track. There's that like long straightaway, but I don't know, it's fine. You can glide and wall ride and ride rails, and I don't know, it kind of makes up for it, I think. There's like multiple sections to it that you're gonna play on different intermissions, and like the versus mode version. It's just kind of a big amalgamation. They leave out the beach section in versus mode, I think. But like, who cares? It's not like exceptional in any way. It is cool. I would say it has great music, but like every track in this game has great music. I think, I don't know, it doesn't blow you away, but I think if you like go out of your way enough to find the different routes and stuff, it can be pretty fun. So I would say it's at least a tier above Mario Bros. Circuit. And there's Whistle Stop, which is going in S tier. Easily the best Mushroom Cup track, I think. There's pretty much always a different route for you to take. You know, there's obviously the best ones, but I don't know, there's always a railroad that you can ride the rails of. There's some off-road shortcuts near the end. I don't know, it's good. Like, no notes, just really solid stuff here. There's DK Spaceport, which the more I think about, I don't know, it's just kind of okay. I'm not sure if I'm going to be ordering tiers yet, but if I did, it's probably going to go above Mario Bros. Circuit. Yeah, I think maybe I'll give up halfway through, or I don't know. DK Spaceport kind of feels incomplete without an intermission leading up to it. Like, it's just so short. I think it's cool how each sort of level going up has its own sort of thing going on. There's the one with the rails, which if you don't take the rails, what are you doing? There's the one with the walls, which I think used to not be faster than just going straight, but now it is because they buffed trick boosting. The big mecha DK is cool. I think it's cool how Bowser had all of the big mecha Bowsers and his castles throughout the years, and now DK has one, so that's cool. I don't know, it's not a bad track, it has some pretty cool music, but yeah, I don't know. It is just kind of a bunch of straight lines with a couple turns. I do appreciate how there's an off-road shortcut on each of the turns, but when I'm not taking the off-road shortcut, I always want to turn too sharp, and the off-road is really harsh. It's like deep off-road. I'm not gonna order the tiers for now, but if I did, DK Spaceport is above Mario Circuit. Cool idea, just not like the most replayable track, I guess. Then there's Desert Hills, which might go in D tier, but I'm gonna put it in C for now. They pretty much removed all of the Mario Bros. 3 theming that made the original Desert Hills on the DS and Wii stand out. They have like the Batadons and Tokos, I think they're called. They added a few ramps here and there, and I think that's cool. There's a glider ramp at the end. There's a couple. You can do a lot of off-road shortcuts, which is really cool. If you're doing like mushrooms only, which is how I played them most recently. But like, I don't know, it's just kind of whatever. The dune section where you can just do a bunch of tricks, and there's like Batadons and shit. That's neat, I guess. I don't know. It's not a bad track. It might still be bottom 2 though. I don't know. There's some stiff competition, and Desert Hills just does not have enough going on. They removed all of the Mario 3 theming except for like the Angry Sun on here, and then they like did some Mario Land theming, but not enough to rectify it. Is that, I don't know. Yeah, it's going in C tier. And then as for Flower Cup, that's pretty much the lowest it goes, because everything else in Flower Cup is just pure peak. Shy of Bazaar is going straight in S tier. There's just so many routes. You can take the top route, you can take like the ropes off to the right at the beginning, and then that leads into more rails, and like you can get away from people. There's the Daisy Palace on some intermissions, which, you know, it's kind of one of the only tracks that has a larger, I don't know, I kind of wish that like the third lap or something was in the Daisy Palace. It's kind of, Shy of Bazaar is kind of a lot longer than I remember it being. If it was sort of a Peach Beach situation, and the final lap was in Daisy Palace or something, then I think that would be cool, and each lap was different. But as it is, the basic Shy Guy Bazaar track, it's a major glow up. It was pretty good in 7, but it's just so good here. Daisy Palace isn't like, I keep calling it Daisy Palace. I don't know if it has an official name. It's not as good as the main track, but it's still cool that it's there. It's a bit trickier, I think. Just like, there's some weird turns. It sort of feels like a city track from Tour at some points. I don't know. That's really about it. This is a really good track. I wasn't sure about it, putting it in S at first, but like after my most recent playthrough, it's top tier, I think. Here's one I'm not as sure about, is Wario Stadium. Either A or S, I'm not sure. There's just so many wall riding and rail riding opportunities. It's insane. Definitely, I haven't time trialed nearly all of these tracks yet. But one of the ones that I have time trialed is Wario Stadium, and it is a fun one to time trial. There's just some cool strats that you can do. I feel like there should be more off-road, but like, I don't know, I don't really care. Yeah, it's just a damn good track, I think. I'm not sure about S tier though. I feel like it needed to do a little bit more to get into S tier. I don't know, I'll come back to it. Airship Fortress, I'm also unsure on putting in S or A. I want to put it in S so bad. It's one of my favorite tracks, but I'm not sure if I should, because it really is just kind of still Airship Fortress. Like, they did a lot to spruce it up with the rails and shit, but that ending section is still kind of boring. You can like mushroom through the off-road at the very end and hop into the rail. That's about it. It's such a cool track, like conceptually, and like I think it is the best version of the track by far. Not to mention, this isn't going into my ranking at all, but the the route music, like leading up to the track and intermissions. It's just the music is aura farming. I think I will put in S for now. It is one of my favorite tracks. It's a low S though. It's a low S. You know, it's not a low S though. DK Pass. Gross. They got one really good DS track and then brought back the two, like, that people really don't give a shit about. I don't know. DK Pass plays fine. I think I might actually prefer Desert Hills to it. I might actually. DK Pass also kind of steals from, like, DK Summit, which, like, fine, I guess. But, I don't know. Did it have to be a ski resort? Could it not have been anything else? And also, there's just, like, not a lot of cool shortcuts that you can do. They took out, like, the one item box that always gives you a mushroom. It's, like, kinda out of the way. The music, like, is also... the music is pleasant, but, like, Desert Hill, it fits for the theming. These two tracks have music that fit the theming, but I don't really care for otherwise. There's, like, one rail near the end that could be helpful, but kinda isn't. I don't know. It's just not very good, I think. This might actually be bottom 2. There is one track that I would put in D tier, and we're gonna get to it. We'll get to you. But, like, yeah, this is probably, like, my actual, like, personal least favorite in the game. And there's Starvey Peak, which is just disappointing as hell. It's probably the worst nitro in the game. It's so weird. Usually Star Cup is really strong, but here it's just not. And that's the thing for every cup in this game, I feel like, except for Shell Cup, which is still kind of bad. Since the retros and the nitros aren't split up evenly anymore, it can kind of go stupid fly. It can kind of go any which way. It just depends on which nitros and retros they mash together. Sometimes it works out really well, like Flower Cup, which is one of the best cups in the game. And then there's Star Cup, which is half mid, half peak. Starvey Peak. Speaking of peak, this is not peak. The music is good. It's pretty. That's about it. Prettiest piece of shit I've ever seen. There's like one rail that I find sort of useful, and you have to get to it if you're not an off-road shortcut anyway. Apart from that, you pick green path or yellow path, but unlike, say, Ice Ice Outpost, it doesn't really make a difference. You're either going wider or sharper, and then that's it. I don't know. Get the fuck out of here. Starvey Peak. What am I gonna say? I need to think about what I'm saying before I actually say it, and sometimes it just takes way too fucking long. Oh, yeah, okay. So, you're just kind of going uphill really slowly for that first part, and it's really wide. There's no boost panels. And then, you know, you get to the water section, and it gives you, like, the speed boost that's also on Bowser's Castle and Rainbow Road. But it still kind of feels like an intermission. Like, it's so straight and wide, and there's some boosts and some off, and a little bit of off-road that you can cut through. But that's it. It's kind of boring. I don't know. We'll have to see how this goes. I'm probably forgetting some, but this is one of the worst ones for sure. I want to like it because it's the Rosalina track. I love Rosalina, but come on. You know, it's actually peak. Sky High Sunday. I didn't think I would be saying that like a year ago, but no, this track is really good. I think it's kind of wearing out on me. It is just kind of an oval, and once you've seen one wall and one rail, you've kind of seen them all. There's like the left path and the right path, and you can go on the rails and such. And then there's the middle path, which has like a boost ramp that you can mushroom through the crates to get to. I love like going through the on the last turn. You can sort of hop off the actual road and go onto the wall. Once I figured out how to do that, I don't think I've really ever chosen to go the regular route. Yeah, that's really about it. It's just a solid track. It might actually be B tier. It might be B tier. It's good though. It's really good. Might be the biggest glow up in the entire series. In this game at least. And there's Warrior Shipyard. Man, I said half mid, half peak. These are all going in B tier. Warrior Shipyard is cool, but it kind of, I don't know, its atmosphere kind of wears off if it's not raining. And like, it's still cloudy and dingy and shit, but if it's not raining, I feel like it's not complete. And it's usually not raining in free roam or online or versus mode. They make a lot of changes, but not all of them feel necessary or like direct improvements to the previous version. Oh, I need water. Whatever, I'll get water later. Speaking of water, holy shit, there's a lot of water in here, and it's kind of annoying. I don't know. They changed the fishbone tunnel into like a water tunnel, but the fishbone tunnel is like cooler, but the Wario tunnel, he's like screaming and laughing like Wario. Like you hear Wario scream and laugh or whatever, and it's fucking hilarious. So you know what? I think that's a plus. Apart from that, they removed the glider section, but now you can either go on top of the cannon and get to somewhere, I don't know, I never go up there, or you can go through the cannon and you can like go on you can go on like the masts of the ships and like rail grind on them, and that part's cool. And I think that's a gameplay improvement. Maybe it's just, I think it's really just the water. It's not fun to go to like have half the track on water. The music's great, but like every track has great music. So I think in 7 this would be an A tier actually. But in World, that's the thing about World. Is like they introduced like rail riding and wall riding, and that stuff's cool. But that just means like if a track doesn't utilize those things as much, like DK Pass or Desert Hills, or Starview Peak, then like it's just not as cool. It's not as fun. So I don't know. In any other Mario Kart game, this would be A tier. But because of like the water and not really making use of those new mechanics, I feel like it's in B tier. Speaking of not using the game's new mechanics, Koopa Troopa Beach, or Koopa Beach 2 as it should be called, is going in D tier. It's the worst track in the game, besides Shell Cup Peach Stadium, which honorarily goes in F tier, by the way. Koopa Beach though, I don't know, it's a circle, you go around it 5 times. On some intermissions, you go around it once, and that's it. So, there's no rails or walls to ride it or anything. You don't even like go on the water or anything. It's literally just a circle. A circle with cool music, don't get me wrong. But that's it. Worst track in the game, easily. Faraway Oasis. This one I'm not sure on. I think my heart says A, but I think it goes in B. Same thing for like Sky High Sunday. This track is cool. It is super cool music. The animals aren't really on the track for whatever reason. They're just in the intermissions and such, which is disappointing. But the track itself has a cool layout. There's some decent rail grinding opportunities. You know what? I think I don't know, I might have just talked myself into giving it A tier. It is really good, but is it A tier good? I'll think about it. And just like that, we are skipping the rest of Shell Cup, and we are going to Banana Cup, which is surprisingly good in this game. Peach Beach is going in B tier though. It kind of rounds out to B tier because it has 3 different sections, but those sections vary so drastically in quality. I think it rounds out to B tier. I don't know though. I don't know. It might actually be C tier. I always forget this track is in the game, honestly. But anyway, the actual GCN Peach Beach part of the track is just okay. There's like an alternate path that you can take over to the left, but why would you ever go there? They removed the penis rock. Then you get to the second lap, and that part's really good, all the way up until you finish the glider section. It sucks. That part sucks. It's literally just a wide open expanse of water, and you make 1 or 2 turns, and that's it. And then you're at the finish line. Kind of stinks. So I think it rounds out to B tier, actually. But that second lap is really good. It's insane that they added that. Because you can just wall ride and rail grind to your heart's content. But yeah, it runs out to B tier. Okay, first lap. Really good second lap. Terrible third lap. And then there's Salty Speedway. This is another one which I'm torn between A and B for. I'm kind of bad at this track. Like the first section, I've kind of gotten better at it because I learned you can just charge jump over to the left instead of having to take the two really hard turns at the beginning. There's some cool like shortcut opportunities, but like they're not exactly faster. The music's really pretty, and you know it's basically just Venice with Birdo. I don't know. There's not a whole lot else going on here. Most of the track takes place on water, which is kind of annoying to control on. It's not very choppy water, like in Wario Shipyard. It's weird. Choppy water is like super fun in free roam, but terrible in actual races because it's so much harder to control on. I think this goes in B tier though. Might go in A. No, I don't know. If this goes in A, then Faraway Oasis and Sky High Sunday are also going in A. I think it stays in B. Dino Dino Jungle. I might be a bit biased because this is my best track. This is the track that I'm the best at in the game, but it goes in S. It is, I don't know. Dino Dino Jungle in 7 and Double Dash, it's okay. It's pretty good. But then they took it then they took it here. They gave it like a whole they spruced it up and now there's a whole like laboratory section. There's like an extra route in that section. There's way more dinosaurs instead of just the one and also some in the background. The music is fucking fantastic. They overhauled the whole thing. It's like guitar and shit. It's awesome. It goes in S. It's easily one of my favorites in the game. Also great question block runs. This is a really good track. I'm not as good as it. I'm not very good at it at all, honestly. I still have not quite figured out that like ending shortcut that people found out on day one. But it's really good. There's like tons of different paths to take in that middle section. Rails to grind, that stuff. Glider section. It's good. No notes. I mean, I don't know. I think the music isn't quite as memorable as I would hope for. It's not, I don't know. It's good. It's still good though. It's still really good music. Yeah, honestly, no notes on that one. It's just good. Cheep Cheep Falls, also really good. Probably, is there any other? Yeah, I think Cheep Cheep Falls is the best water-based track in the game. Super exhilarating music. You go down the falls, that's super cool. It's just a really solid track all around. There's some rail grinding opportunities, but I don't think it needs a ton, honestly. It's just really solid. I might have to put Sky Has a Name for Faraway Oasis up here. I haven't decided yet. So far, they feel like at home in B tier. But like, I feel like if they're down here, then Cheep Cheep Falls should also be down here. Cheep Cheep Falls is really good though. I feel like either I bring Cheep Cheep Falls down to B tier, or I bring these two up to A tier. And I haven't decided yet. Whatever. Continuing on with Leaf Cup, Dandelion Depths and Boo Cinema are kind of in the same boat for me. They both have like great music, very cool themes, but like apart from that, the gameplay is just kind of okay. There's not a ton of cool stuff that you can do on these tracks. There's some neat set pieces like the waterfall section in Dandelion Depths. It's super pretty. And then there's like, what is it? Boo Losses is his name. He appears at the end of Boo Cinema. And you know, like I said, both of these have really cool theming. I especially have a soft spot for Dandelion Depths because that's the Diddy Blood track. That's the Diddy Bloods. I love the Diddy Bloods. I didn't expect... Mario Kart World has given me a new appreciation for the Diddy Bloods. I don't know what it is. I love playing as Diddy Blood. I'm gonna stop saying that now. Boo Cinema, also obviously really cool theming. It's just like not a real beast in the gameplay department, like I know many people were hoping. And I know that's why it's the most disappointing track for some people, and why Starvey Peak is also the most disappointing track for others. I think it's in B tier though. Both of these are in B tier. I can't realistically rank them any higher. Yo, what is up, my fellow Diddy Bloods? So I actually forgot about these cool 2 wall riding alternate shortcuts that are also technically one alternate wall riding shortcut. And yeah, they're in Dandelion Depths. So I'm actually going to use this as an excuse to put Dandelion Depths in A tier. You heard it here first. Dandelion Depths is a Nepo baby. I'm going to shut up now. B tier is way larger than I thought it would be. I was being super generous to these tracks, like, originally, before I made this video. But now it's just gonna... Yeah, B tier. Drybones Burnout. I don't think it's quite S tier. It's going in A tier, though. Just constant alternate routes for you to take. There's always, like... There's one path with, like, 6 fucking routes, I think. It's insane. Cool, like, Latin American theming. I do not understand why they didn't give Drybones, like, a mariachi outfit to go with Waluigi and this track. What the heck, Nintendo? Drybones is a Mario Kart veteran. I think you can give him a costume. Come on. I don't know. It's a lava track, so I automatically... It gets aura points. There's the Drybone skull near the end that you glide to. That's super cool. It's just a really good track all around. There's some rail grinding opportunities and some wall riding opportunities. Good stuff. Moo Moo Meadows. Why is this in Lightning Cup? I don't know. I think it's probably the best version of the track gameplay-wise. A lot of people have brought up that it looks better in 8 because it's like... 8 has like intentional lighting that is set for each track, and it's set at sunset, and also like there's the cold breaths on the animals and the drivers, and that's cool. And yeah, that probably wouldn't work too well in this game anymore because of its dynamic lighting, and also why would this place have cold breaths? Why would you be able to see the breaths of the cows in this environment? Apart from that, it's fine gameplay wise. They added a ramp off to the left before the patches of grass segment near the end, but then they removed the one that was originally in the middle. You know, I think the new ramp is cooler because you have to use a mushroom to get to it. They still have the glider ramp off to the right in that same section. That is just way slower because it's on the outside. There's just not a lot to say with Moo Moo Meadows. Why did they bring it back? Who knows? I think it's funny that since World is almost definitely gonna be like one of the best-selling Mario Karts, like probably easily beats Wii in a few years, Moo Moo Meadows will most likely be in the top 3 best-selling Mario Karts of all time. Because there's Wii, and then there will probably be World, which I don't know where it'll end up. It'll probably be at least top 3 though. And then 8 Deluxe, which is the 5th best-selling game of all time alongside its Wii U counterpart. So yeah, Moo Moo Meadows, it's kind of like one of the most iconic tracks in the series now, for some reason. Why did they bring it back? There was no reason to bring it back, but I don't know. I guess it's cool that it's here. If it's in the next one, it'll just be funny. It's not a very good track though. Stop bringing it back. Choco Mountain. This is another one that I'm kind of torn on. It's another one of those tracks that doesn't... It's fine on its own. It's good on its own. But it doesn't make use of those new mechanics that much. There's also like a lot of mud, which makes it kind of unsatisfying to drive on. It's cool if you have a lot of mushrooms on you. You can like go through all the mud. That's cool. But like, I don't know. I think it's cool that they did something different with it for this game because it was just an 8 Deluxe. So they did something different instead of just making it look the same as before again. Good call. Is it really a mountain even? Is it really a mountain anymore? Same with the hills in Desert Hills. Why is there no verticality left? Except for when it's obnoxious, like in Starview Peak. Whatever. I don't know. I'm kind of torn between B and C tier. It's... because, like, again, it doesn't make use of those new mechanics. So, like, is it really worthy of B tier? I don't think it belongs in C tier. So I am going to put it in B tier. And, I don't know. I think it's good that it's in Lightning Cup, unlike Moo Moo Meadows. Why is it there? Because, you know, again, the mud is kind of tricky. I don't really recognize it as Choco Mountain anymore, though. It's just a different Choco Mountain. Toad's Factory is going in A tier. This cup just keeps getting better. Toad's Factory. No notes. really solid. There's some cool rail grinding that you can do now. It's like one of the harder Mushroom Kart courses from the series, so I think it's fine that it's in Lightning Cup. That like squasher section near the beginning or whatever, with the conveyor belts, that's kind of tricky if you don't know what you're doing. The mud at the end is kind of tricky. There's a lot of mud in these tracks. Yeah, it's just a good track. Great music, cool theming. What is there to say? It's Toad's Factory. I'm just glad it's here. And then, Lightning Cup gets even better with Bowser's Castle, which is an easy contender for the best track in the game, in my opinion. It's just so good. There's the the gap cut at the beginning that I still haven't mastered. This is one of the few tracks that I time trialed because I really wanted to try that shortcut, and I can sort of get it sometimes. I haven't been able to get it online a ton though, but offline I've gotten it like twice now. And then there's the ending section with the big smoke Bowser, and then there's like, you get the boost, you get the speed boost, and you can mushroom through all the lava. It's so good. It's really good. Yeah. It's S tier. Might actually be the hardest track in the game, now that I think about it. Yeah, I'm not sure. Great Question Block Ruins is probably up there. Airship Fortress might be up there. Dragon's Burnout, maybe? Not really. Yeah, I think Bowser's Castle is the hardest track in the game. And there's Acorn Heights. Acorn Heights. Jesus. This is another one where I'm torn between A and B tier. Yay! Maybe I'll go A for Acorn. The glider section at the beginning with like the vines that you can rail grind on. That's cool. I love that. And there's the middle section with all the leaves and some of the mushrooms. And you can wall ride a little bit if you want to. There's the off-road shortcut near the end, which I just didn't know existed for like a week. I don't know why the sting bees are like such a prominent part of this track's branding, because I feel like I never noticed them in the actual track. Music is pretty. The ending section is kind of lame. The acorns are kind of hard to dodge on the third lap, but like, that part's okay. There's some vines that you can rail grind on, and there's split paths. It's just not super interesting, I feel like. Definitely peaks near the middle. Yeah, it's just a good track. A tier. And also, now that I'm looking at this in its entirety, there's no way I'm ordering the tiers. No way. Mario Circuit goes in B tier, actually. Might actually be better than Mario Bros. Circuit. If it was just one circuit again, like Koopa Beach, then it would be C tier. But it's cool. They combined 3 of the Mario circuits from the SNES. Why no Mario Circuit 4 when Mario Circuit 3 has been in 5 Mario Karts already? It's another track that doesn't make use of like the rail grinding or anything. The new mechanics. But I feel like it's not as much of a problem. I don't know, maybe it's just because it's an SNES track. And also it's not just a circle. I don't know, Mario Circuit, I just feel like it works. I don't know why. It should be simple. Special Cup doesn't really feel like the peak of difficulty in the game. That definitely goes to Lightning Cup. Special Cup though, it feels more like a victory lap, which I think is okay, even if the tracks aren't the most difficult or interesting. Yeah, Mario Circuit, it's honestly okay. And then Peach Stadium, not much to say. There's like the cool shortcut that you can do near the end. I don't know if it's really a shortcut, it's just an alternate path. But yeah, and that leads into more alternate paths, and then you can lead onto the rail to like go around that one turn really fast. That's cool. No one ever takes it online for some reason, probably because it's slower. Mario Kart, and it's shortcuts that are actually slower than the normal routes. Yeah, I don't know. If there's one compliment that I can really give Peach Stadium, is that it is hype as shit. When you get to the end of that one knockout tour that has Peach Stadium at the end, and you hear the it feels great. And also just getting there from any intermission, honestly. But from that one knockout tour specifically, it's great. Apart from that, it's okay. Kind of basic. Feels like a Flower Cup track. In any other game, I feel like it would be in Flower Cup. But no, this is cool. And also, it's spring, I don't know. It leads into Rainbow Road, which just kind of feels incomplete without the intermission. From Peach Stadium, sort of like DK Spaceport feels incomplete without an intermission. I don't know about Rainbow Road. I really want to put in S tier, but does it really deserve it? It is kind of really easy for a Rainbow Road. You know, that's fine. There are some Rainbow Roads that are easy. People expect it to be harder. It's really long, which is cool. I am weirdly okay with the water section in like lap 2 or whatever. Maybe because it's just really pretty and the music comes together. It's been said before, but it is literally just height moments and aura the track. And I think that works. I think it's a cool celebration of the entire game. Could it use a little more to do? Yeah, but like it's not a bad track at all. Yeah, if it wasn't Rainbow Road and it wasn't cool and it didn't have the amazing music, then it wouldn't be S tier. But that's like stripping so much of the track's personality away. I think it deserves S tier. It might go down over time, but it just feels really good. The space station section is kind of short. It gets a free pass into S tier. I'll go with that. That's my excuse. And just like that, that is every Mario Kart World track ranked. This was fun. Maybe I'll do this again in a couple years when they release new tracks. Let me know what you think about each track in the comments. Let me know what your top 3 and bottom 3 are. Here's my bottom 5. Funny how that worked out, actually. I was expecting more in C tier. But no, this makes sense. Worst Retro, Koopa Troopa Beach. Worst Nitro, Starvey Peak. As for like my favorite track in the game, that's tough. It's either Airship Fortress, Dino Dino Jungle, or Bowser's Castle. That's my top 3. I don't know in what order, but there you go. That's my thoughts. Give me yours, maybe. I don't know. I'm tired. Goodbye.